Hello everybody, this is David here, aka Chessman, and today we're going to be analyzing a game that was played at the Clutch Chess Championship Showdown. And this game was between Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura. Hikaru had the white pieces, Magnus had the black pieces, and basically we're going to use game review from chess.com to help us analyze this game and see what each move was played for. I like when I see other people analyze games, they tend to skip over a bunch of moves, and I don't like that. Unless sometimes I like to at least acknowledge every move, and just that way we don't miss anything. And I just want to see what the point of each move was. So I am tedious about that, so my videos tend to take a little bit longer to get through. But I think it helps us enjoy the game more and see if we missed any chances. But these champions are pretty darn good. So a lot of times there's a lot of moves that they make that it's like I don't know how they pick those moves, but they end up being the pretty much the best moves. But we're gonna try to figure out, maybe a little insight from God will help our brains figure out why they made these moves. But let's see what happens. I already loaded the game into chess.com, so we're gonna start the review. First of all, looks like I'm guessing by the accuracy, Magnus won this game. He played with a 95% accuracy. Hikaru played with almost an 89% accuracy. And Magnus played like a 2950, while Hikaru played like a 2650. The openings was about 98% accurate. In the middle game was about 94% accurate for Magnus, about 86% accurate for Hikaru. So let's see how this happened.
E4, the most common way to start the game. Control the center early.
Alright, so like it says, e4 is to control the center. It controls these two squares, and it also lets the bishop out, also lets the queen out, but you don't want to develop your queen too early. Okay, it was supposed to talk.
Perk defense begins with d6, controlling the e5 square and preparing for knight f6.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know why it paused for a second. This already gives, according to the engine, it already gives white a plus 0.50 advantage, half a pawn. So like it says, the perk begins with d6 controlling the e5 square. This stops the e5 push, and it prepares knight f6. Black wants to play knight f6, but it has to stop this pawn push first.
Seizing as much space as possible after black's passive first move.
So it's saying black's move was passive, and it didn't stop us from playing d4, taking more control of the center. So now we got two pawns in the center, controlling all these squares. The bishop also can get out, so it's a nice flexible move.
Knight f6 develops the knight and attacks the undefended e4 pawn.
Develops the knight and attacks this pawn.
Defending the pawn with a developing move.
He said it defends the pawn with a developing move. Develops the knight and defends this pawn.
That strikes at the center with a pawn, trying to gain space.
Strikes at the center, trying to gain space. Also, now the bishop can develop.
Developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. Let's go.
Develops the knight, increases influence. Usually the knight goes to f3. Maybe maybe he doesn't want the bishop to pin the knight. Now if the bishop goes there, you can play f3.
Textbook play. Following the greats, building a solid game.
Doesn't tell us why this is a good move. Just saying you're following the greats, building a solid game. The only thing I can see is gives a space for the queen to go. And if you want to play d5, it helps support that. Alright.
Not the sharpest move. Something spicier was on the table.
Says the best move would have been h3. doesn't like a4, but it's still an even game. So a4 doesn't really accomplish anything except gains some space over the b5 square. So it stops, or it doesn't really stop it because you could still play b5. Well, actually, no, you can't because there'd be two. There's two on this square now. My mistake. So this stops b5. Okay.
Solid development with the bishop. Good stuff.
Just develops the bishop. Now they can castle. Oh yeah, I was wondering, how is this bishop going to get out? Is this knight going to move again, or are we going to see g3?
This move is an absolute banger.
We see g3, trying to develop the bishop.
Solid move, nothing special.
Just says solid move. It says the best move would have been to take this pawn. So, but it says nothing special. So it doesn't help develop. It just stops a4 from going to a5, pretty much.
Ooh, spicy. A fianchettoed bishop controlling that long diagonal.
So this develops the bishop. Now you can castle. Question is this diagonal ever going to open up with this pawn here? We don't know.
Black activates the knight and gets it into the game.
Activates the knight. I don't know if it's looking to go to b4. The knight's looking to go to b4, or if we're thinking of pushing c5. Not really sure.
That gets the king out of dodge and develops a rook. Two birds, one stone.
King's safe now, and the rook can go to e1. Unless you want to play f4 and open the f file.
Both kings have castled. Now we're ready for the middle game.
Again, king's safe, and now rook can go to e8.
This is the best move.
It says this is the best move, so that means there was no good place for this bishop to go. So this bishop can go to d2, e3, g5, maybe play f4, and if I don't know. But I guess stopping this bishop from coming to g4 is a good move. Okay.
Pushing those pawns is like building a sandcastle against the tsunami. Risky.
So it looks like everything is where it should have been. It says the best move would have been knight to b4. Not really attacking anything. Well, would put pressure on this pawn. But it's defended. So looks like black didn't really know what to do, so he went out with a pawn, h5. So there was just nothing to do in this position.
Black's pawn chain is feeling the heat.
Attacks the pawn chain. Now this file might open up. The rook might become active, or if you take, you might develop with the bishop. So whether you take or they take, I think it's good for white.
That knight's in the spotlight, controlling more of the board.
It says it's controlling more of the board, so that's why that's a good move.
Developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. Let's go.
It's saying the best move would have been knight to b1. That's crazy. I guess looking to play c3 to kick this knight out.
Now that pawn is sitting pretty with some protection.
So I guess this is protecting these pawns. But it says rook to e8 would have been the best move. Developing the rook. Okay.
Creating the threat to kick a knight.
Right, so threatening to play c3.
Even Steven trade. Nothing crazy here.
Finally trades the pawn. Takes back with the knight.
Boom, best move, right here, right now.
Develops the rook.
That pawn just kicked the knight. Gotta move it.
Kicks the knight.
Dodging danger like a pro.
Knight moves.
Activating the knight, boom.
Activates the knight.
Looks like they overlooked the chance to centralize the knight so it controls more squares.
So apparently this gives white over a point advantage. I still think it looks pretty drawish, but I don't know. I says the best move would have been knight to c5. I guess because of this knight being on the edge and the bishop being way back, maybe that's why white's up a point. White's got, well, there's two pawns, 1, 2, 3 pieces in the center. I guess this is contributing a little bit more than, like, black's bishops aren't really doing anything. So I guess that's why white's doing better.
White lost the upper hand, and now the game is close to equal.
Yeah, there was nothing to do except retreat the knight. So even though white was up a point, his best move was to retreat the knight. So that means there was no way to really get a winning advantage. That's what it means to me.
That knight is now controlling more of the board.
So the knight is just in a better position now. So
that's a bodyguard move right there, keeping that pawn safe.
So there was 3 attacking this pawn. There is 3 attacking this pawn. 1, 2, 3. Now there's 1, 2, 3 defending. And the rooks are connected.
Connected rooks working together like a well-oiled machine.
So this doesn't really affect the center at all, this move, but it connects the rooks. So all good.
This misses an opportunity to bring the last piece into the game.
Yeah, sometimes pushing your pawns isn't a good idea. It says centralizing the rook to e1 would have been better. Now it's a real even game.
Solid trade, nothing crazy. Keeps things balanced.
Trades.
Easy peasy recapture.
Recaptures. Now the knight has to move.
Nothing wrong with getting out of danger. This overlooks a better way to defend a pawn that was under attack.
So this pawn was under attack, saying the best move would have been for the f rook to defend it. Now black has a slight advantage. Very slight.
They failed to notice the chance to create a pawn chain. This basically hands the opponent the chance to force a weak, isolated pawn.
This basically hands the opponent a chance to force a weak, isolated pawn. Show the idea. Let's see. So is it this pawn or this pawn is the weak, isolated pawn? There's 2 of them.
They failed to notice the chance to create a pawn chain. This basically hands the opponent the chance to force a weak, isolated pawn.
So the best move would have been c5. Okay.
Spicy move.
Doesn't say why it's a good move. It says it's an excellent move. It just says spicy move. So it's just, what do you do that doesn't hurt your position? And I guess moving the knight back is one of those moves. So now we're just waiting for the opponent. Each player is waiting for their opponent to make a mistake. Give someone a slight edge.
That creates a pawn chain.
Creates a pawn chain. So this is where I'm not spending too much time on each move because there's really nothing going on. The position is real even, and we got the 2 best players in the world playing great moves. And just moves that keeps everything going. Like, there's no tactics to be found. Like, someone has to make a mistake. So they're both walking kind of on a tightrope, and we'll see who flinches first.
Even Steven trade, nothing crazy here.
So trades the pawn.
Solid trade, keeps things even Steven on the board.
Okay.
Oh, that move leaves a pawn undefended. Yikes.
Let's see, show free piece. So black can go up a pawn. So there was the first mistake. And it's because this bishop capturing attacks a queen. That's why you can leave your knight being attacked. Says the best move would have been bishop takes knight.
What? A free pawn? You don't see that every day. What
So
just happened?
Magnus is up a pawn.
Gotta scoot that queen out of there, pronto. Solid trade, nothing crazy. Keeps things balanced. This overlooks an opportunity to recapture a piece.
Let's see. Okay.
This overlooks an opportunity to recapture a piece. Black lost the lead. Now things are closer to equal. Let's see what happens.
Okay. So the best move would have been h4. Let's play it. See if there's. Let's see the follow up. Black would have been up a point, 1.07. Okay, that's long line. Okay.
Black lost the lead. Now things are closer to equal. Let's see what happens. Even Steven trade, nothing crazy here.
So just trades.
Simple capture.
Captures back.
That's putting pressure with a threat to capture a knight and win material after the follow-up trades.
So let's show the tactic. Takes, takes, takes. That's it. So threatening this knight.
Ooh, that knight is now in a safe zone.
Alright, so it's still a pretty even game. The knight got out of danger. I don't know if these bishops are doing that great of a job. I think this bishop sort of is, I guess. This bishop's staring at nothing. This knight's not doing much. But this bishop and knight aren't doing much. This one's the only one that's kind of in the center. So it's kind of this knight against this bishop. These are the two pieces doing something. I think the bishop's slightly better because it's attacking more things. Maybe this rook is doing a pretty good job. This rook is kind of in the game. This rook's not doing really anything. All right.
Boom! White's piece just found its sweet spot.
So the rook is way more active now, putting more pressure on this pawn.
That threat on the queen is a slick tempo snatching move.
Yep, tempo on the queen. Now the knight's more active.
This overlooks an opportunity to move a queen to safety.
Says the best move would have been queen to d3. I guess it would have been really safe there.
This rook on the 7th rank is ready to cause some havoc and restrict the king.
Now the rook is really active. And it's attacking, it's getting ready to capture this knight.
This misses an opportunity to defend a knight that was under attack.
Okay, so rook to c2 would have been the better move. Yeah, and it's not going to show us why this is not a good move.
True, that queen is now in a safe zone.
So move the queen away.
Looks like they overlooked the chance to defend a
So I guess bringing the queen back to defend and attacking the rook at the same time would have been the best move. It's hard to find though, because black can just double up, and then the queen's not doing anything. I guess just going for a draw, not being active.
Sharp move. They're not messing around with this one. Solid trade. Keeps things even Steven on the board. Easy peasy recapture.
So queens are off now.
Bishop on the move.
Bishop.
Darkness, my old friend.
Bishop was attacked, so it moved to the only good square.
This move is the only one that works. What a find. That passed pawn is a monster. Black is cooking with gas now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this passed pawn looks real important, and I think that's probably what's giving black the big edge. Let's see if it becomes a queen.
To win a pawn through a fork.
Show the fork. Okay, so that's the threat.
That's putting pressure with a threat to win material through an eventual discovered attack. This rules out the option to win a pawn through a fork.
Let's show the discovery. Okay, so it would have been 2 rooks and a knight versus a rook and 2 pieces. And black would still have the extra pawn. So black would be up, according to this, 1.89. Okay.
That threat on the rook is a slick tempo snatching move.
See, so let's see if white wins a pawn.
The rook is safe, thank goodness. Time to breathe. This misses an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. That allows them the opportunity to occupy a strong square and attack a rook at the same time.
Okay, and it does.
Looks a better way to occupy a strong square and attack a rook at the same time.
So it's saying rook to knight to b3 would have been better. Not sure why. We don't see why. Okay.
Gotta scoot that rook out of there, pronto.
The rook had to move.
Spicy meatball right here, yo.
Show the follow-up. Okay.
Even Steven trade, nothing crazy here.
So he did take.
Boom, a passed pawn. That's a step closer to promotion, baby.
He took back. Now he has a passed pawn.
Solid move, nothing crazy here. Spicy. That pawn was just sitting there waiting to be snatched up. Evading that checking knight like a boss. Bullseye.
I mean, brings the knight in. So black's up 1 pawn, 2 pawns. So 2 passed pawns. Everything else, let's see, 2 rooks, 2 bishops and a knight versus 2 knights and a bishop. So you just gotta trade the pieces off. Black just needs to trade the pieces off and then promote to a queen. Okay.
Not bad, but not brilliant.
So white needs to keep pieces on the board. So it says rook coming to e1, double attacking on this knight would have been better. Okay.
Zoinks, snagging a tempo, forcing the bishop to scoot.
This forces the bishop to move,
Whew, that bishop is now in a safe zone.
and it's attacking the rook.
Dodging danger like a pro.
All right.
Solid move, nothing crazy.
So it's just centralizing the knight, putting more pressure on this pawn.
This move is an absolute banger.
Just attacking the bishop again. I guess again black wants to get pieces off the board. Okay.
That knight was under attack, but now it's defended.
All right, the knight was under attack. This one. Now it's defended.
That knight is taking center stage and controlling more of the board.
So just going back was the best move. So we're waiting. I guess we're waiting for white to make a mistake. Trying to figure out how to push this pawn. Maybe got to get this bishop into the game somehow.
What a move.
I guess it just keeps pieces on the board. Says bishop to e1 would have been better.
Solid trade, nothing crazy. Keeps things balanced. Threatening to win a pawn by removing a key defender.
Let's see. White would have won a pawn. You'd still be down a pawn though. Okay.
What? A free pawn? You don't see that every day.
So now, wow, free pawn. So now black's up 3 pawns.
That blocks the check from the opposing rook. Gotta get out of there.
Pushes the pawn.
This is the best move.
So now it's just about pushing the pawns, I imagine.
What a move. Textbook stuff right there. Okay, that was the only move. Equal trade? Spicy?
Yeah, trades are good for black.
Even Steven trade. Nothing crazy here. Recapture that piece. Activating the bishop. Boom.
And avoiding another trade.
Look at this. This kicks the rook. What's next?
C2 kicks the rook.
Gotta move that rook.
So the rook moved. Is there a reason not to just promote? Just trade the pawn for the rook.
Zoom, zoom. Black's bishop found a more active square.
Activating the bishop was better, I guess. Saying the best move was actually king to h7. Wow.
The knight is safe, thank goodness. Time to breathe. Boom! Black is gonna snag a bishop. What a steal.
Alright.
Boom! Best move. Right here, right now.
Just to check. Yeah.
Evading that checking rook like a boss. Rook behind the pawn? That's like a bouncer blocking the VIP entrance. Spicy. That bishop was just sitting there waiting to be snatched up.
So that was a free bishop. I guess rook will be able to take the pawn though, so avoids getting a queen. Let's show the follow-up. Yeah. So black would be up 1 piece and 2 pawns. So it would just be a matter of time for Magnus to wrap this up, I guess. Alright, that was a good game. Magnus does what he does. He won with the black pieces. There's 2 great moves, no brilliant moves. Hikaru had 2 mistakes and 8 inaccuracies. That's what cost him. But he played like a 2650, which is about 200 points below him. Or 150. Okay, that was pretty good. If there's any games you think I should cover, let me know what tournament it is from in the comments, and I'll try to find it. I use 365chess.com to find my tournaments because I'm able to get the PGNs from that website. So if I can find it on there, I can analyze it. If there's another website where you can get the PGN for free, just let me know, and maybe I'll try that. But if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.